to the Cultural and Media Institute, nearly half, 48%, of high school students have had intercourse, and 3.5 million people ages 12 to 20 meet the criteria for having an alcohol or drug disorder. These are some very disturbing statistics. Jasmine, back to you.
Thank you, Khadijah. In today's society, many more adolescents are having children than being educated on how the outcome of sex can affect their lives. Not being properly informed on the effects of sex, such as STIs or pregnancy, can unexpectedly change lives. Sex is not only the gray area when it comes to education. Another gray area is drugs. More adolescents are also being exposed to harmful drugs. Today, we will interview two individual women. One is a young mother who hasn't yet been through the process of educating her child yet. The other is another young woman who has no children, but we'd like to get her opinion on adolescence, sex, and drugs.
We have Khadijah here today, who is 22 and a CDFR major at ECU, and has a son, Cameron, who is at the age of 3. She will be answering questions about how she will have future conversations with her son about sex and drugs when he comes of age. How old were you when you had him?
I was the age of 18.
As a younger mother, at what age do you feel appropriate about talking to your son about sex and drugs?
I don't think that I should start talking to him about sex and drugs until he becomes of age. I'm not sure what age that will be yet because I have to see like the feel of what he's going to be doing and see if I feel a need to talk to him. So I can't quite give you an age.
Strategically, adolescents are between the ages of 11 and 18. What are some things you would tell your son to prevent early sexual encounters?
Don't do it. Your mom will kill you. No, I would tell him to be safe first and foremost. And if you're going to do it, wrap it up and think smart because I'm trying to make sure that he doesn't make the same or go down the same path as I did.
What would you say to your son to prevent him from early drug use?
I would say to him, I would, sit him down and talk to him let him know that that's not the road to go. You don't want to go down that path because it's kind of hard to get off when you start.
Does your family have a history of drug use?
No, luckily my family doesn't have a history of drug use.
As an African American young mother, do you feel that there is a stigma upon your race when it comes to discussing these issues with your son?
I do think there's a stigma only because in certain situations, like they're the main topics. I feel as though that if we were able to, provide education to our children at an early age, and we can prevent them from doing a lot of things, not as an African American, but as mothers and as parents in general.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Now here's a perspective from an adolescent. We have Odyssey, whom is 18, and she's going to give us her experience process as it was for her being an adolescent. So, Odyssey, at what age did your parents sit down and discuss sex and drugs with you, or if they sat down and discussed it with you?
16. Around 16.
When you were 16?
Yeah.
So, what did your parents actually say?
Well, my mom, she was just like, just wait, and if you need me to, I'll put you on birth control. But I'd rather for you to wait and talk to me before you do it.
Okay. So after you had a talk with your parents, at what age did you begin to engage in sexual activity?
When I was 16.
Okay. So at what age were you introduced into drugs? Like, when was your first encounter with illegal drugs?
Well, I think it was like 13 or 14. Yeah.
13 or 14?
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
I I liked it, honestly. I mean, it was cool.
But it's not. Is that something like that you could do like long term or?
I only do it when I need it, like when I feel like.
Okay. Did it help when your parents sat down and talked to you, or was it just like one ear out the other?
One ear out the other.
What about after? Have you spoken to your parents about after situations have occurred? Like, have you talked to your mom about
something like that? I kind of sugarcoated it, but I think she got the hint.
So, what are you doing to prevent pregnancy and drug use?
Well, pregnancy, I'm using protection. And
That's
drug
good
use,
for everybody.
Yeah. Drug use, sometimes I say no. I'm like, no.
Sometimes you say.
Yeah.
And what would you tell your future kids? Like, how would you explain this to your future kids about this topic? Like, when or how would you talk to them about it?
But I feel like it's like they're ready for it. Like, not too early and not too late. By the age I did.
So would you do anything differently, like than what your parents did with you, or you would like have the same talk?
Yeah, I'd do something. I'd talk to them a little bit earlier and
make sure they get the picture.
Yeah.
According to the National Institute on Drug Use Among Children and Adolescents, there are many ways parents can prevent adolescents from turning to sex and drugs. The main point is communication. Having an open line of communication between you and your child will help you with early intervention. Thank you for staying tuned to ECU CDFR News Center, and have a great day.